Good morning, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon. It's a late start for me. Unfortunately, a very late start. Um, Hold on here. Gotta go through all my stuff here. Yeah. Anyways, oh goodness. Um, as you look at my thumbnail, you'll notice I have a Bitcoin address. I'm gonna put it up there. It's a donation address. I'm wondering how many people I can get people to donate here just because I put a Bitcoin donation address. So sometimes it works in the past. All you do is put a little QR code. Also in the description, I put a Bitcoin address. It'll be interesting to see how many people actually donate and see this. So in this episode on my weekly Bitcoin chart analysis, buy now. How to buy cryptos, full beginner's guide. Am I going to do a how to buy cryptos full beginner's guide? No. One of the early signals that I look out for, and you should look out for when there is a potential bull market, is the early pump and dumps. Okay, you're going to get a lot of early pump and dumps. You're going to get a lot of YouTube. The crypto YouTubers are going to come out, and you're going to basically see some thumbnails similar to this. Not exactly this. All right. I hijacked this thumbnail. The only thing I did was put my Bitcoin address. It's a donation address. It's kind of interesting to watch Bitcoin donation addresses to see if anything comes in. I'm a little skeptical if anybody's going to be donating their address, but usually if someone does, it's interesting to see on the blockchain, to actually see it come in, and anybody who has your address can see it. It's kind of interesting to see that. If anybody actually pays attention, I don't really know if anybody will or will not. So now that I'm here, uh, this is the classic early phase bull market, is the pump and dump. All right, the pump and dump. And I believe what you're seeing now in the recent price action is related to early pump and dumpers, which is kind of foolish, because if they actually kept what they bought into instead of doing a pump and dump, they would be way richer. But it always starts off as very low level scheming. All right, it always starts off very low level scheming, short-sighted people who are basically trying to make a quick buck. And that's exactly what they do, is they make a quick buck. Ironically, they can make hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, or maybe even millions of dollars. But if they did that, I have a feeling most of these people who are scamming or attempting to scam will get the attention of maybe authorities, tax authorities. You know, how can you explain the increase in your income? So they probably don't want to. They don't want to make too much money. They just want to make enough, right? Enough just to get by. It's interesting enough. All right, so I will start doing my chart analysis here very shortly. All right, I'm going to do my chart analysis here very shortly here. So first signal that I always look for in the beginning of potential bull market, and this is always going to happen. In my last video, I talked about how you're going to see, you're going to see all the crypto YouTubers come out. The first signal of bottoming is the break in the trend. I'll run up to the average line, so the 30-day period and the 10 period, the 30 period average and the 10 period average. They'll start looking like they're going to cross. A pump in the price, a large candlestick pump in the price. So you're breaking from the trend line, a large pump in the price. The two averages look like they're crossing. It usually is not the beginning of the bull market, but it's usually the first signal of the bottoming. And what you're seeing is another form of a pump and dump. The pump and dump is happening. Very low level schemers coming into the market. That's how it usually starts. And they always want to make the lowest amount of money. So let me pull up the chart here. All right, so let's go look at the chart now. So now you're seeing the chart. Where did I leave it off last time? Where did I leave off the chart last time? And by the way, I have the chat set to members only. Let me just say something to anybody who's watching. Hello. I don't have too many members, unfortunately, but that's all right. I kind of want to keep it. I kind of want to keep it quiet here. All right, so last time I left it was this trend line here. And usually I do this on a Monday, but man, I was busy on a Monday. I'm a little busy on a Tuesday too. That's why I started late, but better late than never. So that is the original trend line that you're seeing. Original trend line. I hope you like the quality of the video and the quality of the stream. I'm slowly but surely improving. And I mentioned putting fans in here. Put a fan in here and see what happens. Usually something like this happens. And you're gonna start seeing a pattern. Not that this is really gonna happen, but you'll start seeing a pattern. And what you're seeing is what I talked about right here. These, I'm gonna zoom in a little more right here, and you're seeing the pump. These three candlesticks represent the pump. These two candlesticks represent profit taking from the pumpers. Okay, so you got people who initially bought in. The initial rounds of the pump and dump usually are, think of it as a pyramid. Think of it as a pyramid. Think of it as viral marketing. A lot of people who are into multi-level marketing, viral marketing, they know what I'm talking about. You'll see a lot of this go on where you have the initial people who are buying in. So what you're seeing, I think, here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months of people who are just buying. They're buying. They may not be buying on the exchanges. They're probably buying off market, so it doesn't affect the price on the exchanges, because if people bought on the exchanges, it would drive up the price. So you're seeing people who are buying off the exchanges, buying peer-to-peer, as they buy up the supply of the peer-to-peer market. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 months. There's about 2 months of probably, off the books, off the record, street buying, peer-to-peer buying going on there, where people are just buying up. They're buying from sellers who have probably most likely have an excess of Bitcoin. So they're more than happy to sell. It's at a low price. They're selling more, selling out faster. They probably most likely have an excess amount. Now, it doesn't mean like some street dealer on the corner. It could also be some very institutional or miners who never take their Bitcoin to the exchanges, or possibly large holders, large hodlers. I wouldn't say they're hodlers, but large holders who don't take their coins onto the exchanges, and they just sell them peer to peer. So I'm not talking about your your local Bitcoins, or what's another one? There's a whole bunch of at Paxful, or any of those. I'm talking about like possibly large holders, maybe even institutional holders, right? They don't, necessarily take this stuff to the exchanges, so you never see this happen, right? You never see the price action. Once they run out of their inventory of Bitcoins, right? That's when they have no choice except maybe to go to the miners, but I suspect maybe even the miners can't sell at a loss, or if they are selling at a loss, they have run out because they're running out. So you're starting to see the beginning of supply. All right, demand outpace supply for the most part. That's what I think you're starting to see, in my opinion. At least the first initial. All right. And as you see the price increase, now you're seeing people go to the exchanges, driving up the price because they have to restock. These people, they could be brokers, they could be dealers, they could be sellers. We call them brokers or dealers, but really they're just people who are selling peer-to-peer for the most part. Or they're at that level of peer-to-peer. You don't need a license, you don't need anything. You just need to do it for yourself. You could be a large holder, a large buyer, a large seller. It's very possible. Possibly even someone who has a connection to miners, or maybe a pool of people who have large holdings and they don't want to really get involved, so they work with some intermediary person or a person who can find a buyer, essentially. So that's the drive up in the price here. People going to the exchanges, driving up the price. What you could be seeing here are the people who are basically been buying. They could have been buying at these lower prices down here. Somebody's buying and selling down here where the price isn't moving too much. And they see the drive up in the price. They're dumping. They're basically dumping their coins for profit. So now they have no risk. They basically have no risk. And now it's just a question of how many more people are willing to take money from this recent uptick in price. How many more people? And how many miners are going to be selling to basically stay afloat, maybe make some money, keep the lights on, keep the electricity on. That's the question we're at right now. So you see this profit taking right here. You got 2 weeks of profit taking. Let's see if we can get rid of some of these lines now. Let me get rid of some of these lines. So you can make your own fan lines here. And last time I think I left it right about here. Typically you don't want to, all right, you don't want to make a line on a recent candlestick, especially the recent 3 candlesticks. You don't want to ever do that. Let me zoom in. You don't want to make assumptions based on these most recent candlesticks, but I did just to see what would happen. And it looks like it has gone down in price. The question is, will it trend this way? Will it trend this way? I suspect that it will be trending down because as the initial pump and dump scheme happens, you got the people who initially started it and they're just taking their profits. If they're smart, they'll keep the rest and hold. All right, they'll hold even though the price will most likely crash. I think the price will most likely crash. All right, most likely crash. But it may not go further or below at a certain point. There is a price level here. I'll kind of give you an idea. This looks like a good price level right here. Right here is a pretty good floor. It seems like a pretty good floor. Seems like a pretty good floor right here. If it might temporarily just pierce through it, come close, but it seems like a good floor. The question is, how many waves of this are you going to get? And while this is happening, you're seeing the pump and dump scheme kind of come in waves. I think you're starting to see the first initial wave, and it's usually small, very small waves. You know, the first pump and dump scheme is small, test the waters. They're taking small profits. Some of them are smart, some of them are dumb. The dumb ones will just sell everything, walk away thinking they made money. They sold at the top, and they're waiting for the bottom, which in this case may not happen. Some of the smart ones will just sell to get their money back. At this point, they have no risk. All they have to do is hodl, which they most likely will do since there is no risk. You'll never see the price go below, I think, 15,000, 15,400 because they're holding. And they'll repeat this process again for each wave, each successive wave. And the waves will increase because as they're holding, they're also buying back a little bit, selling, buying back, selling, but always trying to keep a margin of profit. And that's how the wave begins. That's how the wave begins. Now, there may be somebody who comes by, a miner, a large whale. They'll see the price increase. They see an opportunity to dump. They'll dump. But I think those people will regret doing that because in about probably, another 6 months, you'll start to see the trend go up. It'll start upticking. So let's draw on that fib line again here. Let's try to forecast some prediction. Let's try to forecast some prediction here. Now that I got a baseline, give you some time frame here. That's April. I'm looking at this point, this line I made here, and the baseline of 15,400, somewhere around there. You're looking at around time frame of April 23rd. Not a big deal. It'll probably not go that far because it'll probably just go down, go up. So from this point on to this time frame, what is it? It's October 29th. So you're going to see a lot of movements up and down, side to side. It may spike up, it may spike down, but you're going to see a lot of sideways movement. It's basically going sideways, but in a slow trajectory going up. And all this time, you're going to start seeing more crypto YouTubers coming out of the woodworks. All right, they're going to start coming out. The reason why they come out is the pump and dumpers, the schemers. Well, they gotta advertise. They gotta advertise. And what better way to advertise than make a video about it, do some live streams on YouTube. They might even get some sponsorship, you know. They might even get some sponsorship from some mining company, mining repair company, crypto.com, you know, you name it. It'll just start coming out, right? They'll start making more videos. They'll start talking more about crypto. They'll start talking more about how you can buy more crypto. They'll start talking about how you can buy more crypto. All right. They'll they will come out. They will come out and they will be talking about how you all can buy more crypto. All right. How you could buy more crypto like this. You'll see a thumbnail like this, right? You'll see a thumbnail. Buy now. How to buy cryptos, full beginner's guide. Another indicator of potential, and it always starts out as a pump and dump scheme. You know, like people have to, the reason why they're doing this is they're motivated by my money, right? So the motivation is that they're buying at a lower price. They have to advertise it to get people to buy in at the higher price, okay? Because as they're buying, uh, they're telling other people about it, right? The word kind of slowly spreads around, right? And other people start getting into the pump. And then they start telling other people and they get into the pump. And these are the pumpers, right? So as the pumpers start buying up the supply, the price starts going up. The people who are selling to the pumpers, they have to go to the miners or the people who have Bitcoin. Eventually what happens is supply runs out. The demand outpaces the supply. People have to go to the exchanges at some point. And so the exchanges, people start trickling into exchanges, and that's where you see the price go up. There's very little resistance at this point. Very little resistance. The sellers have pretty much, I think, mostly have been exhausted. And what you're seeing is the pump and dump, just the wave, the wave. So you got these people who are buying in. Eventually, they have to advertise to sell to the greater fool, all right, which is basically you. If you're new to the crypto market, you are the greater fool. You're the idiot. But don't worry, everyone's the idiot. All right. So you're the greater fool in which they're going to sell to. They will teach you how to buy, full beginner's guide. They will start, and then as you progress to the next wave, you'll start seeing courses or classes. You may even start seeing advertisement from like legitimate places and they're selling courses on crypto. You'll also start seeing more exotic cryptocurrencies or NFT style or whatever the new flavor is. You'll start hearing new buzzwords. People will start hyping the buzzword. People will start hyping whatever this new technology is, which is not new technology. It's just repackaged, remarketed. It's just marketing at this point. So now you're going to see people marketing stuff, marketing new coins, marketing new airdrops. What else? Marketing a new project. You'll hear projects. We're trying to do some new crypto projects. I don't know what the new flavor is going to be this year. They have to be pretty creative. It's probably going to be something geared toward millennials. Probably geared towards millennials. Whatever they're into. Some kind of social justice coin. Buy this coin if you want to support social justice causes. There'll be projects. If you buy into this project, just go ahead and buy some Bitcoin, take your Bitcoin, trade it in for this token that supports this social justice project. Who knows what else? I don't know. Hey, hello, King. Hello, King. I see you got in here. How did you? Oh, you're a mod. That's why. I have this set to members only. I was wondering, how did you get in here? Oh, goodness. Good to see you. I heard you got scammed. I heard you got played. Happy Valentine's Day. So that's what you're gonna see. So this is what you're gonna see. So you're gonna see people selling courses, how to. That's probably the beginning, and then once that wave gets going, you'll start seeing mainstream media start to talk about it. CNBC, financial news. Yeah, that's how it gets going. Yeah, somebody you got scammed by somebody. Yeah, yeah. You can't trust anybody these days. Just get ready to get scammed all the time. That's the next step. You're gonna see a lot of scams go on. You're gonna see a lot of newbies come in. Um, the greater fool come in, and they won't know what they're doing with their cryptos. They will lose their money. They will send their cryptocurrency to somebody and don't even know who they are, expecting a payment to come in, and it never comes in. They're waiting and waiting. They're texting them. Are you there? Pick up, pick up. Are you there? Are they calling them? A phone never gets answered. You know, that'll be the beginning. That's when you know that you've been scammed. But anyways, so this is how you're gonna know. You're gonna start seeing how to for beginners in the crypto market. You'll start seeing YouTube videos come out. It all starts this way. You'll start seeing more crypto YouTubers coming out of the market. So that's what you got. Anyways, that QR code is a Bitcoin address. It's a donation address. If you want to learn how to use Bitcoin, go get yourself some and send it to this address and see how it works. I guarantee you that you'll be very happy about what you did. So let's get back to the chart. There's the chart. And also, by the way, before I do my chart analysis and get into further and make my final analysis, here is my Bitcoin address one more time for all of you people who like this kind of content. It is a donation address. Feel free to take your Bitcoin wallet with Bitcoins in it, of course. Go ahead and scan that and send me all your Bitcoins. I would really appreciate that, by the way. I made it nice and big so the QR scanner can read it. All right, so there's no excuse whatsoever why you can't send me any Bitcoin. I also have the address in there, also in the notes, in the description, just in case your camera can't scan this QR code. Go ahead and either write down that, I believe that's a BEC32 address. It will work with all your wallets, don't worry. Even though if you have a legacy address, it will work with your address, don't worry. Or you can actually go in the notes section, copy and paste the Bitcoin address. Go ahead and if you have a desktop wallet, you could just go ahead, there it is. I made it very easy for you. It's not that hard. I'll gladly accept Robux as well. Robux is a form, not as sophisticated in my opinion, but it is a form of some type of cryptocurrency. So that's what you have here. All right, so let's take that down. I doubt anybody's gonna do that. We might. I guarantee you they're gonna regret doing it because in about a year, whatever they sent over is going to be worth 100 times more than what they thought it would be. All right, so let's go back to finishing my analysis here. So what you're going to start seeing is sequential waves coming in, and most likely, I'm not sure if this is what's going to happen, but most likely it will follow these Fibonacci fan lines. It will follow some. It won't be exact, but you'll get an idea. I mean, you're already starting to see a little bit of it, right? You're starting to see here coming down. I also make my support line here. I think this will be the support. The price may pierce down through it. It always, I think it does. What it does is it really tests. Once people start going on to the exchanges and the exchanges become more active, what you're going to start seeing is people are going to put stop losses. Now, you have to realize that the exchange knows your stop loss. And believe it or not, your stop loss may be that information, right? Everyone's stop loss may be available to people and they know where your stop loss is, all right? So as people start getting into the exchanges again and you set your stop losses, you're going to start seeing the price hit your stop loss. Magically, amazingly, it will hit your stop loss. Why? How? Well, because people know what your stop losses are. And as soon as it finishes hitting your stop loss and you take a loss, all right, and you take a loss, magically the price will go back up after it hits your stop loss, after you've taken a loss and someone else took a gain. And that's how wealth is transferred from one person to another. Legal theft through the exchanges. I recommend you not go to the exchanges because that's probably what's going to happen. You will lose your position because you put a stop loss. And when the price starts going back up, you will have no Bitcoin because you basically sold at a lower price and now you have to buy back in at a higher price. That's what usually happens. So you are the greater fool. You are the useful idiot. Everyone goes through that. Everyone who is a novice will go through that. I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure that's what happens to most people, especially if you're new. But you're not going to get that. You will never get that information, all right, from any of these places that will show you how to buy crypto's full beginner guide. This is something that you will never be taught, because if you were, you would probably not get involved in the first place. If you want to know, did I actually cry? No, I did not cry. But if it makes you feel better, King Savage, I can say that I cried. I can say that I cried. If that makes you feel better. Here. How's that? There, I cried for you. I cried. So, there you go. That's what's probably going to happen. What I recommend, if you do get into the market, is simply to not go to the exchanges. Try to buy peer-to-peer and get yourself a wallet, whether it's like, I'll mention a wallet, Coinami. It's a pretty decent wallet. Mycelium. Most of these wallets now have like advertisements on them, but they're free. You get to control the private keys. You get to back up the keys. If you don't trust those apps, if you don't trust those wallets, they're usually considered hot wallets, but you can actually do a paper wallet. There is you can go to GitHub. You can look up Bitcoin paper wallet generator. There actually still may be a website that still generates paper wallets, but you can generate them offline. In other words, you just download the application. You may even have to just download the browser, and offline, while you're not connected on the internet, you can generate paper wallets. Right? If you've been in this game long enough, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, save yourself $50, save yourself $100, save yourself $500. Forget about these hardware wallets, because all they are is just basically electric form of a paper wallet. It's just on a computer chip on a circuit board. You could actually just generate a paper wallet and use that, and you have a cold storage. Put it in a safe place, and then forget about it. Well, don't forget about it, but just walk away. Forget about the price. Come back a year later, and then you could take a look at the price. That is what I would recommend. But you're not going to take that advice. You're not going to take that advice. You know why you're not going to take that advice? Because we are humans. This is our nature. We are often greedy. All right. I could tell you right now, the best thing to do is just to buy from someone, put it on a paper wallet, cold storage, put your private key. The paper wallet's basically your private key. Put it in a safe place. Walk away for a year. All right. Just keep doing it, or just keep buying, keep doing that. Walk away for a year. Come back a year later. Then look at the price. Sell what you put into it. The rest is now free, risk-free, totally risk-free. From that point on, whether the price goes up or price goes down, it really doesn't matter. Wait 5 more years, then look at the price again, and you probably could be at least a millionaire, in my opinion. It's possible. It's very possible you could be a millionaire. And by then, the question would be, the issue would be not whether you're rich or not, is how can you use, right, your newfound wealth? How can you use your newfound wealth without arousing suspicion? Because all of a sudden, the scammers come out of the woodworks. The scammers come out of the woodworks. Not only private citizens, all right, financial institutions, the legal system, the government. These people are not your friends. Maybe even your friends are not your friends. You know, things change when people think you're wealthy, or they know you have something of wealth, something of value. So that's the other challenge once you get to that point. I don't know if you'll ever last that long. Most people end up getting scammed because they get too greedy. They get too greedy. Anyways, let's take a look one more time at the chart. All right, one more time. Where is that time frame? Let's look at time frame one more time. Okay, this is April. Okay, this is, let me see, January, February, March, April, May, June. So this time frame right here, this right here where I'm, or maybe I should do this. This time frame right here, I can't do it. This time frame right here is January, February, March, April, May, June. This time frame right here is October, I believe, October 29th. This time frame is February of 2024. So somewhere around, in my opinion, doesn't mean it is going to happen, right about here, usually is where probably things start going bananas or will peak. What happens after that, I mean, it gets kind of crazy. It gets very volatile at that point. I would have to see, but my anticipation is it's going to take about this much time frame, and I'm on a weekly chart. So don't get your hopes up that all of a sudden you're going to get rich tomorrow, because you're not. And you know, patience is a virtue when it comes to cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. And huddling is winning. Weak hands lose. So that's my episode for today. That's my Bitcoin episode today. Thank you for stopping by. If you did stop by, let me put in my Bitcoin address. If you appreciate this information, if you have Bitcoin, you probably don't. Most people who get into this don't have anything. But if you do, go ahead and send me all your money. I'll take care of it good for you. I'll make sure that it'll get hodled forever. All right. You can watch it. You can watch it on the blockchain. You could see it right there. You could watch it go up in value and realize what you sent me was priceless. Anyways, thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it. I'll see you all next week. Bye.